Well, I think that we've all learned about activism from the students who first started to go and sit in the South, right? I learned about activism as a student when I was in New York Corps, in New York City, in Manhattan. The students brought such life to the whole movement. They brought a life that said simply that I am really willing to risk everything to affect change. That's what they did, you know, scholarships, being put out of school, which many of them were, you know, disowned by their parents even. I mean, it's a wicked thing that went on there for a long time. And so, but what I learned from my students, most especially in that classroom, is that when they were experiencing things in a city like Philadelphia or Amherst or San Francisco or Chicago, all those places where I taught, where they would bring information into the classroom and we would go out and move together. But I am always hardened by students. I think the reason that I still have hope in this country, as Sister Fannie Lou Hamer and all the other great people who moved in the civil rights movement, is that they saw the hope and in the students' eyes. They saw the willingness to work and sacrifice everything for a movement came from those young people who said simply that I ain't gonna be moved, you know, I'm gonna change everything. A change is really gonna come. And it was that energy that propelled all of us who had just gotten out of college, who had a person like me preparing to teach, and I began to move around to see exactly that we needed very much to change so very much. But when I was reading about the students and what was happening to them in North Carolina and in Birmingham, one of my first poems was about those 4 little girls in Birmingham. I put the poem up on a bulletin board and someone took it, and I have no idea what happened to that poem, right? But the point is that we wrote it. We began to then incorporate what was going on in the South, what we were doing in the North also too, and there was that collision. But people don't know that when we started something called Black Studies in San Francisco, that many of the people who came to work with us were SNCC people, you know. So it was also people going from the North to the South to work with SNCC, coming out of the South, coming to the West Coast where we were to work on Black Studies. So that was an amazing line from North, South, all the way out to the West, you know, and then back.